Oh, Miss Elphaba, many years I have waited for a gift like yours to appear. Why, I predict the wizard could make you his magic grand vizier. My dear, I'll write at once to the wizard. Tell him of you in advance. With a talent like yours, dear, there is a definite chance. If you work as you should, you'll be making good.
Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood? This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard if I make good. So I'll make good. When I meet the wizard, once I prove my worth, and then I meet the wizard, what I've waited for since birth. And with all his wizard wisdom, by my looks he won't be blinded. Do you think the wizard is dumb, or like Munchkin, so small-minded? No, he'll say to me, I see who you truly are, a girl on whom I can rely. And that's how we'll begin, the wizard and I. Once I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change. 'Cause once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange. No father is not proud of you, no sister acts ashamed, and all of us has to love you when by the wizard you're acclaimed. And this gift or this curse I have inside, maybe at last I'll know why, when we are hand in hand, the wizard and I. And one day he'll say to me, Elphaba, girl who is so superior, shouldn't a girl who's so good inside have a matching exterior? And since folks here to an absurd degree seem fixated on your verdigris, would it be alright by you if I degreenify you? Of course that's not important to me. Alright, why not? I'll reply, oh, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Yes, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and unlimited. My future is unlimited, and I've just had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy, and true, the vision's hazy, but I swear someday there'll be a celebration throughout Oz. That's all to do with me. Now stand there with the wizard, feeling things I've never felt. And though I'd never show it, I'd be so happy I could melt. And so it will be for the rest of my life, and I want nothing else till I die, held in such high esteem. When people see me, they will scream, for half of Oz's favorite team, the wizard and love.
Are you the kind of person who knows things? Things like you can get a domain from Squarespace, not just a website? Well, now you are that person, because now you
Hey mom, Dad, mom, I need a little help here. I'm probably talking to myself here, but Dad, mom, I gotta ask, are you really in the ground? 'Cause I feel you all around me. Are you here, Dad, mom, Dad, mom, Dad, mom? I'm tired of trying to iron out my creases. I'm a bunch of broken pieces. It was you who made me whole. Every day, Dad's staring at me like a hurry up, get happy, move along. Forget about your mom. 'Cause Daddy's in denial. Daddy doesn't wanna feel. He wants me to smile and clap like a performing seal. Ignored it for a while. Daddy's lost his mind for real. You won't believe the mess that we've become. You're my home, my destination, and I'm your clone, your strange creation. You held my hand, and life gave me easy. Now jokes don't land, and no one sees me. Nothing seems to fit. Mama, is this it? Are you receiving? I want something to believe in, or I'm done. Take me where my soul can run, or I'll be in my bedroom. Wake me when I'm 21. Daddy's moving forward. Daddy didn't lose a bone. Mama, won't you send a sign? I'm running out of hope and time. A plague of mice, a lightning strike, or drop a nuclear bomb. No more playing Daddy's game. We'll go insane if things don't change. Whatever it takes to make him say your name, Dead Mom.
But it isn't my fault. I was given those beans. You persuaded me to trade away my cow for beans. And without those beans, there'd have been no stock to get up to the giants in the first place.
Wait a minute, magic beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell it, which you told. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold? Oh, and tell us who persuaded you to steal that gold.
See, it's your fault. No.
Yes, it's your fault.
No. Yes, it is. It's not.
It's true.
Wait a minute, though. I nearly stole the gold to get my cow back from you. So it's your fault. Yes.
No, it isn't. I'd have kept those beans, but our house was cursed. She made us get a cow to get the curse reversed.
It's his father's fault that the curse got placed and the place got cursed in the first place.
Oh, then it's his fault.
So?
It was his fault. No.
Yes, it is. It's his.
I guess. Wait a minute, though. I jumped down a beanstalk, right? That's clear. But without any beanstalk, then what's queer is how did the second giant get down here in the first place? Second place? Yes. How? Well, who had the other bean?
The other bean?
The other bean? You pocketed the other bean.
I didn't. Yes, I did.
So it's your fault.
No, it isn't, because I gave it to my wife.
So it's her
No,
fault.
it isn't.
Then whose is it?
Wait a minute. She exchanged that bean to obtain your shoes, so the one who knows what happened to the bean is you.
You mean that old bean that your wife? Oh dear, but I never knew, and so I threw. Well, don't look here. So it's your fault. But it's her fault. But and it isn't mine at all.
But what?
Well, if you hadn't gone back up again, we were needy. You were greedy. Did you need that pen? But I got it for my mother. So it's her fault then. Yes, and what about the harp in the third place.
The harp, yes.
She would have dared me to. I dared you to. You dared me to. She said that I was scared, so she did. No, I didn't.
So it's your fault.
Wait a minute. You hadn't dared him to.
And you had left the harp alone, we would have been in
hadn't thrown
trouble
away
in
the
the first
bean in the
place.
first place. She hadn't raised it in the first place. Why did you raise beans in the first place? Your fault. You're responsible. You're the one to blame. It's your fault.
Oh, don't film me. Film Bradley. Okay, just let me know. We live? Oh, God. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Let me try it again. Hi, everybody. Hello. Just like second grade. Thank you all for coming tonight to the Light Lab end of semester Light to Music presentation. Everybody's been working really, really hard, so I've seen a little tiny sliver of it, but I think you guys are gonna really dig it. We do this every semester at the end, and we get a wonderful lighting rig from PRG, Production Resource Group. Josh Karp is our incredible contact there, so thank you so much. And then the lighting students and the students in Light Lab, and anyone can take Light Lab. If you haven't signed up for Light Lab and you're free, come take the class, see how light works, and do this next semester. The students do all the work. They've set everything up. They've live streamed. They've electricianed. They've PE'd. They've what else? Rigged.
Teams,
Dancers, actors, costume designers. I think I saw a prop design this time around. So we're really excited. And then we invite a panel of industry professional lighting designers, our friends and colleagues, to talk and discuss and critique the work after they see it. So we will run the song, we'll perform the song, and we'll talk to the lighting designers, and then we'll perform the song again. And then we'll have our panel here of esteemed folks comment and give their critique from years and years of experience. I would like to introduce my co-teacher this semester and next, Bradley King.
Thank you, Kat. I just want to say thank you to you and this incredible group of students. This has been an absolute joy to come to class every week. They bring it. They bring incredible ideas and perspectives, and the work has been outstanding, and it's been really great hanging out with y'all, and I can't wait to do it again in the spring. So everyone sign back up.
All right, and let's pass it down the line just to get names with the faces.
We have truly one of the most esteemed pantheons of lighting design ever assembled in this theater. So please, introduce yourselves.
Ken Billington from New York. I light a little bit of everything, but about 100 Broadway shows. Chicago being one of them. I can't wait to see that in 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Justin Cook. I've been working for Ken as his senior production electrician and relighter on Chicago for 27 years now. Started when I was 18 in Australia, and now originally from New Zealand, but I live in London. Worked at the Royal Opera House and predominantly in musical theatre, relighting Ken's work.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Colin. I am a lighting designer, as we see here among everyone else. My focus is actually primarily on dance. I'm the resident lighting designer and director for the Philadelphia Ballet, and also work with Clifton Taylor with Philadanco, a company also based in Philadelphia. And I'm also on faculty at Montclair State University.
Hi, I'm Clifton Taylor. I taught a little mini course this term earlier in the fall, and it was really fun. I had a great time with you all. Thank you. And I don't know, I light some things. And I have a school called Studio School Design that I started, so, yeah.
Asia says I should stand. So we do what Asia says. My name is Nick Solium. I teach here. I teach Intro to Vectorworks and Assistant Lighting Design, and then the Previs, which was brand new this year. And I'm a lighting designer and associate lighting designer, and passing it on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Asia Jackson. I'm so excited to be here. I am one of Bradley's associates and a lighting designer in my free time, which there's none, but I'm so excited to see your work.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jean Koenig. I've had the pleasure of sitting with some of you in tech this last semester, which has been great. And I'm a lighting designer, associate lighting designer, lighting supervisor on Lion King Worldwide.
I guess we're standing now. Hi, everyone. I'm Adam Honore. I'm here for a good time. I'm a lighting designer, and I'm excited to be here.
Josh Karp, PRG rep. I'm not going to stand up. Sorry. Sorry. I also design in my free time, which is few and far between.
Hi all, I'm Aaron Tacey. I'm an associate lighting designer, and I have taught Vectorworks and assistant lighting design here at Rutgers.
Thank you to our esteemed panel. We're so happy. Some of you made the trip here. This is always a good time, and it's always great to reconnect with folks in this room. So again, thank you.
All right. Who is going to walk us through? Thomas? Thomas is going to walk us through the lights.
Hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas. I'm the PE for this event, and I'm going to walk you through a quick rig introduction, starting with the Ayrton Perseus. It is CMY color mixing. Pan and tilt, of course. There is the zoom ranges from 7 to 85 degrees. There's a rotating gobo wheel as well as a static wheel, and there's also a dedicated color wheel with it. Our next light is the Ayrton Veloce. It is CMY color mixing as well. It has a CTO wheel. It has 2 rotating gobo wheels. There's framing shutters and an animation wheel. The next light is the GLP X4 XLs that you can see that are currently on. It has 7 to 50 degree zoom, RGB color mixing, and it also has pixel mapping control, as you saw when you walked in. Our next light is the GLP X4 bars. We have 2 rows of this. We have a ground row of it, and we have a variable trim height that each group can set for their piece. It has RGBW color control as well as individualized cell pixel mapping set for this fixture. Our next light is the Claypaky Sharpies, which are a beam fixture. It is on a color wheel, and it has lots of gobos. And the zoom is 0 to 3.8 degrees. The next light is our footlights, which are the Solaris flares. It's just an RGBW fixture for an uplight. And then we have high-end solar frames on the sides that act as shins, a color wheel, gobo, static and rotating, as well as a zoom from 6 to 46 degrees, and also CMY color mixing. Our next light above the solar frames are luster 3s that are head highlights, deep red, amber, lime, green, cyan, blue, indigo. And then we have some front light that is just used as well for a fill. And that's our whole rig this semester.
We forgot, oh, hot. Okay, we forgot 2 more introductions. The first is, of course, our incredible programmer, Brad Gray. And truly, One of the coolest parts about this particular project is they do get to work with a professional Broadway caliber lighting programmer, of which Brad is the top. So we are very thrilled to have Brad here. Can I mention your other job? Should I mention your other job? Okay, Brad's also somewhat newly now works for Christie Lights as a rep for Christie Lights. So his email's somewhere. You should start hitting him up for all of your projects. And then the most important person in the room of all, Kat Starmer, introduce yourself. Without whom none of us would be here. So.
Hi, I'm Kat Starmer. I'm the interim head of lighting. Standing up. Some people opted out of it. I'm Kat Starmer. I am the interim head of lighting. And let's get this show on the road. Okay, so students, if you will introduce yourselves and tell us your focus at school, and if it's in another department, tell us that, and then introduce your song.
Hi, I'm Kai Williams. I'm a second-year lighting designer.
Hi, I'm Ben Levy, and I'm a fourth-year lighting designer.
Hi, I'm Hamsini Radhakrishnan. I am a double major in dance and exercise science. So not lighting, but I've participated in Light Lab every semester, and I got so interested I wanted to learn myself. I'll start off Gina.
Okay, hi. My name is Gina. I am a second-year stage manager. I did not take the Light Lab class, but I'm just kind of here supporting my classmates. Are we passing it down? Or do you want to? No? Okay.
And then we also have Ed in our group, who's our senior auditor, and has been such a great pleasure. I'll start it off. I think most people know Chicago, but it takes place in 1920, post-World War II, during the Prohibition. The 19th Amendment has just been passed, so white women are allowed to vote. And the whole theme, all the themes are scandal and the press and all of these dark themes. In terms of the plot, it's about a woman, a married woman, but she's not in love, named Roxy, who kills the man she's having an affair with. His name's Fred Casely. And she works with this really dirty lawyer named Billy Flynn to convince the press that no, she didn't kill him on purpose. It was completely self-defense. They both reached for the gun, not just her. She is obsessed with the press. She's obsessed with all this glamour. She's living for it. So that's a big part of this. But even though she's obsessed with it, she wants to be perceived as innocent, so she gets away with it. Other things about this show in general is that it was choreographed by Bob Fosse originally, so it's very vaudevillian. There's a lot of theatrical elements to it, which is a big part of how this show works.
Yeah, so when it came to our approach to this number, when it came to our approach to this number, there were two main ideas that kind of motivated our lighting design. The first was that idea of vaudeville and putting on a show. The idea is that Billy Flynn and Roxy are trying to dazzle the press in order to convince them of something that is blatantly not true, and that requires creating a character for Roxy and Billy that is different from the person who they really are. And so some of those ideas are what motivated us. The other thing is that this number is performed as kind of a puppet show. The concept is that Billy is speaking through Roxy and is puppeting her like a ventriloquist. And so using that idea as well as the idea that by the end of the number, he sort of has the entire ensemble and the whole press wrapped around his finger and is controlling them and their ideas as well.
And then just to speak on our color journey, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll talk about it a little bit. We kind of decided to start in this dramatized press room. And as the press is convinced by Billy and Roxy's story, adding in more color as we go through, including first it's light color and adding in saturation as they become more and more convinced of their story.
And just to introduce the cast, our Roxy is played by Valentina Papano. Billy is by, oh, yes, clap. Billy is by Abby. Mary Sunshine by Bailey Gregory. And our ensemble is Kyla Kempo, Lily Collins, Maira Clafter, Mercedes Robinson, Maya Marie, and Victoria Dillon. And our spot ops are Ryan and Matt. And Izzy did our costumes.
Mr. Billy Flynn in the press conference rag. Notice how his mouth never moves. Almost.
Where'd you come from?
Mississippi.
And your parents?
Very wealthy.
Where are they now?
6 feet under, but she was granted one more start, the convent of the Sacred Heart.
When'd you get here?
1920.
How old were you?
Don't remember.
Then what happened?
I met Amos and he stole my heart away, convinced me to elope one day.
Oh, you poor dear, I can't believe what you've been through. A convent girl, a runaway marriage. Now tell us, Roxy, who's Fred Casely?
My ex-boyfriend.
Why'd you shoot him?
I was leaving.
Was he angry?
Like a madman. Still I said, Fred, move along. She knew that she was doing wrong.
Then describe it.
He came toward me
with the pistol
from my bureau.
Did you fight him?
Like a tiger. He had strength and she had none, and yet we both reached for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, we both reached for the gun, for the gun.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun.
Understandable, understandable. Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible.
How you feeling?
Very frightened.
Are you sorry? Are you kidding?
What's your statement?
All I'd say is, don't my choo-choo jump the track, I'd give my life to bring it back.
And
stay away from
what?
Jazz and liquor and the men who
what?
Play for fun. That's the thought that came upon me when we both reached for the gun.
Understandable, understandable.
Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for.
Let me hear it.
The gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun.
A little louder.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both.
Oh yeah.
The gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun.
Now you got it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun.
We have one quick thing to add, and that is that Hamsni of our own group also did the choreography for this number.
Do we do it one more time, or do we speak first?
I guess one thing that I don't know if we touched on our approach earlier is a lot of the things we were playing around with was focusing on Billy and Roxy and then including the ensemble and going back and forth in their lines with that, I think was a big thing that we decided to do early on.
Before we run it again, does anyone have any questions for our designers? Oh.
Okay, my question is a focus question. And so embarrassing with Mr. Billington right here. But the lady in green, I felt like I was looking at her for a long time. I'm just curious. And then towards the end, I'm curious if you did it purposefully to not let us see Roxy, really, for the end.
So as far as in green, that is Mary Sunshine. She's like sort of the named member of the ensemble who's representing the press. She's like conducting this interview. We chose to highlight her because, for like some of those moments, because there are spots where she's like interjecting with her own questions, and then she's also part of guiding the rest of the ensemble into those sort of like believing them. She's one of the first to sort of like buy into this story and the like kind of the drama of it and the like storytelling construction of it. And then as far as the ending, I think the way that we had discussed it was like, it was a combination of our own decision and like a choreography decision that just because Billy and Roxy are sort of separating, that we wanted to choose to follow Billy because this is sort of like his moment and he's kind of letting his own sort of like conducting of the show run away with him.
We're gonna run. Just to be clear, we're gonna run it again, and then we're gonna have lots of time for feedback. But if anyone wants to ask clarifying questions or add a comment before we do so, please.
Oh, okay. 30 years ago, I lit this in New York. By the way, it's another approach, so it's terrific. I have 5 moving lights on Broadway, so it's a whole nother world. I thought the pops and the cues as you ran through were actually pretty good. We got to remember, you have to watch the actors. We're not about watching the lighting. And there's a few places there where I started watching lighting and not watching the performers, because there's a lot of exposition here. We're learning of that. Billy is manipulating her and the press and really getting Mary Sunshine tied into this. So I think you did great until the end on all those builds, and I couldn't see anybody because you used the Sharpies, and you had done so well, and all of a sudden we get a new element into the piece. I didn't know, was it because they're there we should use them, or what was it dramatically doing? If you were trying to punch up on Billy at the end for the button, then they should have been focused there and buttoned with him. Which would be fine, but it got a little way too busy towards the end. The focus became a problem for me. So, you know, I do it with 6 cues and 5 moving lights, so it's a very different approach, and I think you approached it well. Just it's a little muddy at the end.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the Sharp is exactly the same thing. From a production electrician side of things, you also designers have their concepts. From the practical point of view and the health and safety point of view, the first thing that we got was the Sharpies all in a line down stage center, pointing straight in our face. Couldn't see anything that was happening on stage. So it's a consideration in terms of where you are programming from. you may have another 3,000 seats behind you. They all need to be able to see, and the lighting shouldn't detract from what is happening on stage. Just a little note.
Let's give it another run, and then we'll open the floor.
Mr. Billy Flynn in the press conference rag. Notice how his mouth never moves. Almost.
Where'd you come from? Mississippi. And your parents? Very wealthy. Where are they now? 6 feet under, but she was granted one more start, the convent of the Sacred Heart.
When'd you get here?
1920.
How old were you?
Don't remember.
Then what happened?
I met Amos and he stole my heart away, convinced me to elope one day.
Oh, you poor dear, I can't believe what you've been through. A convent girl, a runaway marriage. Now tell us, Roxy, who's Fred Casely?
My ex-boyfriend.
Why'd you shoot him?
I was leaving.
Was he angry?
Like a madman. Still I said, Fred, move along. She knew that she was doing wrong.
Then describe it.
He came toward me
with a pistol
from my bureau.
Did you fight him?
Like a tiger. He had strength and she had none, and yet we both reached for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both, oh yes, we both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, we both reached for the gun, for the gun.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun.
Understandable, understandable. Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible.
How you feeling?
Very frightened.
Are you sorry? Are you kidding?
What's your statement?
All I'd say is, oh my choo-choo, jump the track. I'd give my life to bring it back. Stay away from jazz and liquor and the men who play for fun. That's the thought that came upon me when we both reached for the gun.
Understandable, understandable.
Yes, it's perfectly understandable. Comprehensible, comprehensible. Not a bit reprehensible. It's so defensible.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for.
Let me hear it.
The gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun.
A little louder.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both.
Oh yeah.
The gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun.
Now you got it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reached for the gun, 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 the gun.
Both reached for the
All right. Who? Oh, Nick.
So good to see you all. Congratulations, all of you. And I can't see all of you on stage anymore. Thanks, Brad. And huge accomplishment, really great work all over. I want to add to thinking about the interjection of the X bars as like graphic lighting, and my eye, every time those turned on, goes above, right? I like, from the ground going up, my eye just goes up, up, up every single time, and it's just that graphic element causes my eyes to leave the actors. Maybe just something that happened to me, and whether or not that graphic nature was helpful. And then a tiny detail, as you're adding color, which Kai, as you said, the color story was very clear, but as you're adding color, don't forget about the people light behind, don't leave the people light behind. In Understandable, I believe you do change the people light, but as you're adding pinks, I start seeing the people as green if you're not adjusting the people light along the way with it, unless that was your intention.
Hi all, excellent work. I'm curious about kind of similarly with the ground row of kind of like the architecture of the space, like the introduction of the ground row completely redefines like the stage picture, and then later on some of the diagonal backs from either side we're switching, and the way it felt that some ways when we would meet different characters, or like that we were changing locations when those things were happening, and which on my first read felt like what was happening, and then by later in the song we were changing, or like we weren't changing locations, it was just becoming an accent. And so I'm curious how you conceived of those different architectural elements as we traveled through space in the story.
I think a lot of what we talked about when adding in those architectural elements were kind of creating this more like a showy element, I would say, and like leaning more into like a razzle, like that idea of like Billy's show is when we started adding in more of those architectural elements. So we're in the same space, but we're now leaning more into his ideal.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
So I just want to say what an incredible accomplishment, the number of cues, the choreography. I mean, it's like a night at the theater, so thank you for all that. I do have, it's come a long way here at Rutgers, I gotta say. So mine is an inquiry about, well, this is my takeaway, is Billy is the showman, and I think in talking to us about your creation here, you said that you elevated Billy above, and at the end he is super elevated. I felt that even from the beginning, both the press room and the talent in the press room sort of were on equal footing. So, and then as we got deeper in the song, I wanted to see Billy even get more of a rock star, and that we sort of remained in a sort of sameness of levels. One of the missed opportunities I saw is we left the fall spot on Lady in Green. I'm sorry, I forgot her name already. We left the fall spot on her. She was static. She wasn't moving. So there was an opportunity to bring the special up on her, sneak the fall spot up, and get it over to the talent, and then stay with the talent. And then it was kind of a letdown when he went into his second chorus that he was only in a single follow spot, and I looked up and there was only one beam, so it wasn't like the other follow spot was somewhere else. And the only other thing I want to add is The color choices are fab, but we are in a black box. And there were moments where I just wanted to see the cast kind of pushed away from the black wall. And that would have been achieved by etching them a little bit with backlight. So that was my takeaway.
Congratulations! I cannot believe y'all choreographed this and lit it in probably a week. It's really wonderful. Something just kind of to go off of what everyone else said. I think y'all did a really wonderful job creating different looks and creating a lot of diversity on stage. I'd be curious to know if there was a if I could offer up a tip, or if there was a version of this where we gave notes and you came back a day later and showed it again, where similarly to like the architecture of the haze, if you could discipline yourselves to have one system, like if the X4 bars or the Sharpies or the back diagonals per each verse, chorus, verse, bridge, right? So every chorus is just X4 bars. Every bridge is just, you know what I mean? And then I think that'll help you and help us visually understand what part of the song we're at, so we're not jumping around as much. Because I really loved all the ideas you went through, but I was like, you know, there could be a version of the X4 bars where instead of using the whole line, you make them look like fake zip strips, and every time you need to change on a 4 count, you just go one over, right? So that can give you that sensation without adding and subtracting constantly. And I'd love to see that version where it's just like a little more played into like the music theory of it, which would be really interesting.
Hey, really great job. I loved it. The cueing structure, excellent timing, all that. I just would ask you about finding yourself a set of rules, a little bit what you're saying about establishing. One, I want to know what the reality is first. Like, what does this courtroom look like? Just like the play version. And then it can be ramped up from there. Could we look at your first cue when we, not the, after the introduction. So when Billy and Roxy are sitting down, if you guys could go. So because this is already centered on them, he's already a rock star, then it limits your ability to make him a rock star in the course of the song. And so you had to resort to extraordinary means, which was the Sharpies, to get it ramped up from here. But this could be the end of the song, like, and it would really pay off, but you would have to have had showed us like a kind of real scene in the beginning. Does that make sense? Like, almost like backwards design, where you start with the thing that you want to end up with, and then pull elements away. Then maybe that you wouldn't have had to do the Sharpies, which is what people were saying in the beginning. But thank you so much. It was wonderful.
No, I agree with everyone. It was actually amazing. And like the tools that you have and the ability to use those tools is incredible. It really is. But I think I think what a lot of us are responding to is this idea of the architecture of the space in various ways. And I think that there are also opportunities, I think, to grow the space. I think you go right from this, and then what's the cue right after this cue? Like, I feel like the space gets really big really fast as well. Like, suddenly the second cue in the piece, we're like, that's the whole space. So I wonder if there's a way we could kind of grow into that a little bit more. And then I think what Clifton was saying toward the end, like, I think that the Sharpies, that's sort of the climax of the piece visually. And then we hit the button and it felt a little flat. And I'm sort of wondering, like, if there was another way to sort of give us one more, like, punch in the face. You know, I think I really wanted that, because it really was like that. The Sharpie moment was like, whoa, and then the button hit, and it was like, oh, okay, now we're done, right? As opposed to like, yes, you know. So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I think like really interesting. Like, I think your color palette, your choices were really excellent, and very restrained as well. I mean, there's a lot of flash in there, but you sort of kept it restrained to a few different colors and ideas, which I think also helped the storytelling for this as well.
If you wanted to, I'm just offering.
I loved the first 3 cues. I thought they told us exactly, disagreeing with, I think, Clifton or whoever. Was it Clifton who said, was it Clifton or Nick? Nick, sorry. Uh, I think you set it up. I know exactly where we are. I know it's not a very pleasant place. This isn't a pleasant cue in any way, shape, or form. It bumped me into a bump, 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 and we're there. I knew exactly where to look, and you then followed through with your concept. You added color. You, I think, got a little busy, and the busy maybe because you could, as opposed to, did we need a cue there? But I think you set it up perfectly. The first, Brad, just run the first 3 cues, would you? The one before this. Somebody kill the spot, please. Thank you. Okay, and go, go, go. I think actually you set it up perfectly from there. I like that. I know what I'm watching. And then you build your color. I think you just get a little muddled and you get a little busy. And part of that comes from when you've been doing it for a long time. If I have to write less cues, it's just easier. I don't have to work as hard in the afternoon. And we can go to dinner and enjoy it as opposed to worrying about getting the next 40 cues done in the queue. But no, seriously, I think that's just, I think you didn't fail. Everybody did a brilliant job here. I think it's just the maturity of maybe we didn't need to do that. And that will come to all of you as you start doing this full time. Thanks.
And at this point, we like to ask Brad Gray, the professional programmer, your thoughts on the experience of them queuing through, doing the previs. They get 90 minutes of pre-visualization, 90 minutes of on-stage programming time, and a couple of notes today.
Give Brad the mic. Hi.
Okay. You all did awesome. I can echo everything you said here. I'm not watching it for the lighting. I'm watching it for how you work with me, and I bet you didn't know I'd be talking. A couple of things. After you're done with previs, run through and focus your presets real fast. We got done with presets and ran it. And then we still had some presets even today. I mean, your second day, the last 15 minutes, we spent focusing some of those presets, right? Oh, we need to open up our side light wash to include people. So previs is a lie. What it looks like on there is not really what it looks like on stage. Don't forget cue only. I know that we spent a lot of time cleaning up today on cue only, so you can say things like update 15, 20, and 25, perfectly adequate syntax. If I'm not thinking about it, if we're moving fast, I'm not going to think cue only unless you say it out loud. Use groups. Oh my goodness, if I type so many channels, so many times, even if we have to make the group, you know, there were a couple times that we grabbed a couple of lights, some of the Perseos that were in random clumps, not random, purposeful clumps, we could have made a group out of that. And get the cast to stand still when you're focusing the light. I think we wasted about 2 minutes of time watching people move around. And I think one of you said it. One of you like, hey, can you go to this spot? That was really awesome. That's it. Great job.
Awesome. Great work. Great work. And thank you to the cast as well. Let's move on to the next group. Yes? Great. It's like herding cats. Just go, Kai, go. Waiting on you already, Kai. All right. We're gonna. Yeah, dude.
Stellar.
Like at first I was like,
I felt like I just watched like dress rehearsal.
Yeah, and did you bring in ringers? Is that professional dancers? Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Now you can. Okay, great. So we are the second group that's going to be presenting today. We're going to be presenting the opening number, Rotten to the Core, from the Disney Channel original movie Descendants. And so we can definitely talk a little bit about this movie musical. But to start off, I'm Maya. I'm a fourth-year lighting designer, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I'm a second-year lighting designer from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Angie. I'm a third-year stage manager. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm a third-year stage manager from Jackson, New Jersey.
So to elaborate more on the plot, it's basically these villains' children. So we have Cruella's child, Jafar's child, Maleficent's child, and the Evil Queen's child, and they're kids that are trying to go to this high school, but the high school only accepts people that are good, and because of their parents' past reputation, they aren't allowed to be admitted into that school. So this is the opening number, so they lean into their evilness throughout the story and to try to get their way, but over the progression of the story, they find out that they don't need their evilness to survive and that they can merge into like the good kids, and like their parents' reputation doesn't perceive them, and so they don't have to like fit into that category. So throughout the story, we see like their transformation.
Yeah, so basically the setting of this is we're on the Isle of the Lost, which is, in this universe, every single Disney show exists in the same world, and all the villains have been sent to this isle where they're all forced to kind of live together away from this like ideal world that all the heroes live in. But our characters have grown up in this world, and they've found a source of power and inspiration in being evil, and that's how they've survived. That's how they find their pride and identity. And so we follow these four main characters throughout the play. As Thomas said, they go to the good school, and they kind of learn that being evil isn't how they have to survive. They can go against their parents' wishes. They can go against the environment they were raised in. So it felt very important to us that we started in a place where they found a lot of power and pride in being evil, and so this like energized them. It is the opening number, so we wanted to start with a bang and start with the energy and really capture the tone of this piece. And it also, the music itself inspired a lot of the lighting choices in this, and inspired a lot of the color palette and like style, or the types of lights we used as well. Yeah. Of course, we sure can, and it's our cast is made up of all designers who are giving it their all, and they're doing a great job. So we have Mel is going to be playing Mao. Kai, who is just up here, is going to be playing Carlos. Bailey, who is just on stage, is going to be playing Evie, and Liv is going to be playing Jay. And our spot operators are lovely first-year lighting designers, Ryan and Nathan. Oh, yes.
And this piece was choreographed by Maya Marie. And it was costume designed by Madeline Wilson.
And we did have we have an apple prop on stage that one of our stage managers made for us. And it also changes color. We're not like under heat, but it's a really cool apple prop. So thank you, Ember.
say I'm trouble, they say I'm bad, they say I'm evil, and that makes me glad.
A dirty no good, down to the bone, your worst nightmare, can't take me home.
So I got some mischief in my blood. Can you blame me? I never got no love.
They think I'm callous, a low-life hood. I feel so useless.
Misunderstood. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Welcome to my wicked world, wicked world.
I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core. I'm rotten to the core, who could ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next door. I'm rotten to the core.
Call me a schemer, call me a freak. How can you say that? I'm just unique.
What, me a traitor? Ain't got your back? Are we not friends? What's up with that?
So I'm a misfit, so I'm a flirt. I broke your heart, I made you hurt.
The past is past, forgive, forget. The truth is,
you ain't seen nothing yet. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Welcome to my wicked world, wicked
give me that. I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core. I'm rotten to the core, who could ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next door. I'm rotten to the core.
All right, is there anything else you guys would like to say about this?
No, I think we can answer clarifying questions for sure. Like, they're very happy to talk about it, but I think at this point, I'd like to hear from you guys. Yeah.
Are there any clarifying questions before we see it again? No? Okay.
Just in this, I'm sorry, I haven't seen the IP, so I'm not sure where we're landing, but do they decide they want to be so bad they're good, or they're just like, we don't care about that school, so now we're just going to go out and be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where are they going?
They're definitely in the, yeah, they're definitely like, we're bad, and we're like, right now they're currently on the Isle of the Lost, and they're at the top of the pecking order because they're the baddest of them all. So they don't want to be good because they're bad. They're like full evil, wicked, being bad. Yeah.
And does this number come after they've decided to be bad, or do we watch that journey?
This is how we start the entire show.
Oh, so we don't even know
we don't
that
even
they're...
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Let's do it again.
They say I'm trouble, they say I'm bad, they say I'm evil, and that makes me glad.
A dirty no good, down to the bone, your worst nightmare, can't take me home.
So I got some mischief in my blood. Can you blame me?
callous, a low-life hood. I feel so useless. Misunderstood!
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Welcome to my wicked world, wicked world.
I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core. I'm rotten to the core. Who could ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next door. I'm rotten to the core.
Call me a schemer, call me a freak. How can you say that? I'm just unique.
What, me a traitor? Ain't got your back? Are we not friends? What's up with that?
So I'm a misfit, so I'm a flirt. I broke your heart, I made you hurt.
The past is past. Forgive, forget. The truth is,
you ain't seen nothing yet. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Welcome to my wicked world, wicked
give me that. I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core. I'm rotten to the core. Who could ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next door. I'm rotten to the core.
All right, fantastic work, and I didn't say it on the last group, but I will say it on this. Stage management, stage management, stage management.
Trying to do that without time code, which I'm assuming we're not using. You better thank your lucky stars when you get a stage manager with any musical sensibility whatsoever. So again.
So much fun. You all bring it in. And firstly, that gobo shake made us all smile. Every single one of us. Such a good surprise and fun. Most of the time, I see that gobo shake when you load a wrong console file from a different fixture version and they're all shaking. And it was just an amazing use of it. I have one general thought and then one really, really expert level thought. Is your first chorus is our biggest, widest open light cue, and you're building, and I felt a deflation in chorus one, and in verse chorus songs, you don't actually have the information, the people information is not in the chorus, it's in the verses perhaps. And so going to feeling that tension drop in the chorus is the opposite of where I wanted to go with that that lavender cue. And then with your Sharpie live moves, I know 90 minutes. I challenge you to think about if they can stop on at the same time as they start, right? You want them to be moving, and the stop of them is as important as when they start in your focus times. But really fun.
I'm gonna do it.
Your go.
I took it. I'm so sorry, Aaron. I'm obsessed. That was so fun. I'm just utterly obsessed. I do have a question, though, and just want to point out to keep in mind, you guys have a really big challenge, and it's a musical that also can totally fit into a concert, and musical lighting and concert lighting, huge overlap. different things, and it's important to keep those things in mind. And part of it is making sure that you have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background, so we're really aware of them and the space that they're in. And I felt that what Nick is talking about on that first chorus, and it was so nice because it felt really three-dimensional when they're walking down, coming in, and then you highlight each of the characters. I get who's on. Also, good job, designers. You guys. Yes. So it was so nice to get their introduction, and it felt dimensional. And then on the first big chorus, it went pretty flat. And then whenever we got those incredible Sharpies, our people went away. So that was just, I really want to see what those people are doing up there. Yeah, but obviously I'm obsessed.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So fun. I want to talk about the verses. It's really lovely to meet them all individually the first time around, to like really lock in with, in the staging. They're telling us a lot about who their character is. They're verbally telling us a lot who their character is, and it's nice to meet them individually. We come back to them the second time around, and each of them is in a single spot again. And this is the only opportunity where, outside of choreo, but in terms of like story and words, where they're occupying the same space and relating to one another. And since the one person is in a spot and the others are not, and they were even they were interacting with one another. The story carried from one to the next, and so I really was hoping that they would be in a shared environment, or even like I would say the middle version between a complete shared environment and the single spot version is the second spot ghosting on the person who is going to take the baton, so that they have some place that they're going to, that they can travel and arrive to get there. Though talking foreground, middle ground, background, during this verse, the energy that was living on the back wall, the pulsing of the ground row, was such an excellent way to keep the energy and the vibe of the music and not letting it deflate. And so in that, I just want to call out your middle ground, foreground, background.
I was just going to say something really, really, really quick. I thought it was brilliant. I truly could see this at any Disney park anytime. Like, it was giving Disney realness, and I love that. The only thing I would be thinking about is how we get from one cue to the next, or cue time. There are some times where the energy was like and we were giving like a 3-second fade. Just do it. Like, let's commit to the bit. It's so up tempo, and y'all were like perfect with everything. It's just like a handful of cue times that could have just punch it in and take us there.
I think it was awesome. Really great. There's a couple of things I just ask you to interrogate. One is the green. I felt like you could really lean into that more, and I felt like you were being safe about it. I was like, just do it. Like that when the green footlights came up, awesome. I just wanted it to be like chunkier. And then the other thing I just want to ask you is the follow spots. Why are they soft?
Starting in a more like grounded reality, and so like starting with like kind of a revealing of the worlds, but now seeing it and the way we've approached it, it feels right because they're like the backlight is so like tight pulled that it does feel right that it could be a hard edge spot at the beginning. I still think for the second verse it feels right to have a softer one.
Yeah.
But I like that idea of having the ghosting one.
I think there's some follow spot design that you could do here and teach the audience what that language is. Like, it's show, it's just feel light, it's just reality. There might be something there that you could push it even further. And also, the color of the light just seemed white, and it seemed outside the design. Like, it was there for illumination, but I think it could be in the stylistic design, color space. Gotcha. Yeah, but beautiful job, everyone, really great.
Yeah, no, I agree with all the comments. I mean, really amazing. I think the opening was awesome. I love the ending too. And I think what really sort of drew me to those moments is it really gave this sculptural quality to the bodies as well on stage. Like the lights, it's easy to turn on. You got haze. It makes a beautiful image on stage. But there are times I think in the cueing where I kind of lost the definition in the bodies. And I think that's what we're here for. I mean, this is like, if it's musical theater, we want to make sure to see the bodies and really see the three-dimensionality of those bodies in space. And I think there are times when it sort of felt like it went away in service of making the lights look really pretty. So, but yeah, great job.
Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Loved the Congo Sharpies and the sweep out and things like that. Some really lovely intensity pulses from the overhead rig. One thing I would sort of implore you to look at is contrast. Intensity pulses are lovely, but a contrast between two opposing colors, or a cyan and a dark blue, it can give you a little bit more in the air if you're looking for those kind of air effects. If you look at something like this Sharpie, the manufacturers, if you look at the color wheel, they have done that on purpose. The cyan, the magenta, the yellow are next to each other so that you can get those contrasts. The Congo and the open white are next to each other. You can give yourself a little bit more if you're looking at sort of air effects. That's the only thing that I would say.
I think you guys did great. Set it up in the beginning. We knew this wasn't a pleasant group because that color was terrific. I thought, I'm going to now put the director hat on. I'm taking my lighting designer hat off. When we get to the chorus, why does it go flat and unattractive? It was so clean, and then when we go to that bright cue, and I couldn't see the cue number when I was looking over there, that's the hardest part. When you're doing things like this, is how do we make that look good? And I would love to see you play with it. The other thing I would love to do is come back and see it after the first preview, because you've watched this now, you've listened to us, but you've listened to the director, you'd watch it 2 more times and you could go clean it up. I think you did a stellar job. Cast, you hit your marks, thank you. So I'll be in next Thursday to see the 4th preview.
I have I have 2 things. The first is I will just note for anyone doing this in the spring that I've been here 4 times, I think, in the past 5 years. And every time we turn the footlights on, we get the same note about the space looks flat, the space looks blown open. Just bear that in mind for future years, folks, and your footlights. And then just tagging on something that I think Adam said, in how you've laid out some of the musical effects and how you are tracking those beats. Don't forget about those last 8s when they start going to double time, triple time, and then like strobe bits, because we're tracking that. You've done such a good job of setting that up, you have to follow it all the way through now. So don't forget about matching all the way through a verse and a chorus, and not just the initial, start of that section. But yeah, I had an absolute blast watching this, so well done.
Awesome. Brad Gray?
Maya did that on purpose. I want to break it down by days, because you all came in as the most prepared group. And when I say we queued that entire number the first day probably with 5 minutes left to spare, and then we ran it. And it was awesome. And then the next day you came in, you made a bunch of changes. You said, okay, record it over that first cue without doing any blocks or any cue onlys. And then we tracked through everything, and you created a ton of work for yourself on the 3rd day. I encourage you to slow down a little bit on that 2nd day and think about your updates. Great positive things. Notes, you were the only group to walk in and ask any questions beforehand. Hey, do you have any groups set up? Actually, yeah, I do. You want me to show them? And we walked through all of those things. You labeled cues while I was programming, and all of a sudden I look up and the cues are labeled. I'm like, oh my God, thank you for labeling cues. And you never got stuck. There was a moment where it was like we were working on a cue and we were working on a cue and we couldn't quite get there, and you're like, you know what, let's move on and let's cue the rest of the show. And when you only have 90 minutes, having the foresight to do that is so hard. You came in the third day and you fixed it. The first thing you said to me today was block cue 115. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fix a lot of stuff, but we're gonna block a cue that we liked. And then the only thing I would implore you to, when you do track something, you then what I call get into cue only mode, and then everything is cue only. So when you do something, it's not a big deal to fix it. Most of the time you can say, hey Brad, I tracked that, just fix it, and I'll go in and fix it. Don't feel like you have to do that. We're a team. I could have helped you solve some of that stuff. Great job, guys. That was an awesome number.
It is also Thomas's birthday today. So. No song. Okay, we'll just all say happy birthday, but we're not gonna sing. And Helena's birthday too.
Happy birthday. Birthday song.
Incredible. Thank you all. Let's gear up for the third and final group. Does anybody do we want to take a 5? Do we need a 5? Panel of esteemed? No, they want to go through. They're used to sitting there for 10 to 12 hours. 8 to 10 hours. We'll wait for Bailey. Don't you?
Wait for Ken.
4 to 6 hours.
There we go. 10 to 12 minutes.
At Rutgers, it's 3 to 4 hours. All right, are we ready? Group 3, we're gonna wait for just a second. Stage hands.
It's on. Okay, hello.
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry, I missed her.
Why don't you introduce your cast and your spot operators and your team?
That's what I was about to do.
Do that.
All right. Well, hi, I'm Bailey. I am a fourth-year lighting designer. We are doing Where I Want to Be from Chess. And for our spot operators, we have Ryan and Kai. And then our actors, we have Lily, Tori, Ben, Maya, and Tina. Great. Ben is playing our Anatoly, and the rest are ensemble.
I'm Matthew Ngulo. I'm a second-year lighting designer.
I'm Jack Cregan, fourth-year lighting designer.
Hi, I'm Annie Jandoli. I'm a fourth-year stage manager.
Back to me. So, as some of you may know, Chess is a bit of a confusing musical, as it has changed a lot over its life, from what I have heard. And so there's been many different versions where the plot has been completely reorganized, the songs moved around, the location that the story takes place changed. But for this version, our song, Where I Want to Be, is sung by Anatoly towards the beginning of the show, and it is him sort of talking about his life and feeling almost empty. He is a chess player, and the show takes place during the Cold War, and the show sort of revolves around a chess match, a chess tournament between an American chess player and this Soviet chess player, Anatoly. Yeah, and let's see it. We can talk about our approach a bit in the middle, I think. In the what? The light. Yeah. Oh, so our approach to the lighting is, I would say, sort of a mixed approach of concert and stage lighting for theater, as you'll see. Yeah, I don't know what else to say exactly at the moment, but yeah, let's see it.
Who needs a dream? Who needs ambition? Who'd be the fool in my position? Once I had dreams, now they're obsessions. Hopes became needs, lovers' possessions. Then they move in, oh so discreetly, slowly at first, smiling too sweetly. I opened doors, they walked right through them, called me their friend. I hardly knew them. Now I'm where I wanna be and who I wanna be and doing all I ever said I would, and yet I feel I haven't won it all. Running for my life and never looking back in case there's someone right behind to shoot me down and say it always knew I'd fall. When the crazy wheel slows down, where will I be? Back where I started. No, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Times have been good, fast, entertaining. But what's the point if I'm concealing not only love, all other feeling? Now I'm where I wanna be and who I wanna be and doing what I always said I would, and yet I feel I haven't won it all. I'm running for my life and never looking back in case there's someone right behind to shoot me down and say it always knew I'd fall. When the crazy wheel slows down, where will I be? Back where I started.
Comrade Molokov tells me you want to play chess. Go to hell.
All right, do you guys have anything you'd like to add?
I think kind of a fun thing that we went into looking at this is we wanted to make it feel like a game of chess. So we kind of created a chessboard with the lights on stage. So our ensemble is kind of like the pawns approaching the queen, which is Anatoly, in this doomed game of chess that is his life and kind of the burden weighing down on him.
Do we have any clarifying questions we'd like to ask?
That's exactly what I was going to ask, how you conceived the ensemble.
So to me, when I first listened to this song, it felt like a music box. Like you open it and you're cranking it and you're having the little ballerina dance around. And that felt right for the ensemble to me. And I knew going in, we kind of talked about whether we should have one or not, and it felt right adding it in the end. Because it kind of really goes with this like haunting feeling that Anatoly's going with him, and this like doom slowly approaching him. And so they're a little bit doll-like. They're not quite human as he sees it, but yes.
All right. Oh, yes.
I want to understand a little bit more your approach to the transition. So when he goes into the driving, I'm where I want to be and who I want to do and da-da-da. I mean, that's very distinct and architectural. And I just keyed to what you said about a music box, and that signature comes through in the music, that tinkling, tinkling, and it transitions into a different place, like a more reflective place. So so how did you approach that? Put words to what we just saw.
Now we've swapped.
Hello. Yeah, I think like the transitions, one of the things that we talked about like were like the kind of colors that we wanted to use for like our verses and our choruses, and something about like the color blue really struck us for the verses, but especially for the colors. We were kind of drawn to the idea of moving warm into the colors, and so like every like, because it's not like necessarily a bridge, but we have like this like sort of like ritardando that's right before the choruses that like we felt kind of strongly about like sort of like opening up this world and then like having like this sort of like, because the verses are like big moments of reflection to him, and then the choruses are moments that like he's like really like sort of like kind of letting the paranoia kind of get to him. And I think like how we were thinking about like having that kind of explode out into the audience, and that was kind of why we had those transitions be so abrupt. But then it kind of dissipates very slowly coming out of those choruses back into the verses and into the ending as well. So that was our approach.
All right, let's do it again.
Who needs a dream? Who needs ambition? Who'd be the fool in my position? Once I had dreams, now they're obsessions. Hopes became needs, lovers' possessions. Then they move in, oh so discreetly, slowly at first, smiling too sweetly. I opened doors, they walked right through them, called me their friend, I hardly knew them. Now I'm where I wanna be and who I wanna be and doing all I ever said I would, and yet I feel I haven't won it all. Running for my life and never looking back in case there's someone right behind to shoot me down and say you always knew I'd fall. When the crazy wheel slows down, where will I be? Back where I started. No, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Times have been good, fast, entertaining. But what's the point if I'm concealing not only love, all other feeling? Now I'm where I wanna be and who I wanna be and doing what I always said I would, and yet I feel I haven't won it all. I'm running for my life and never looking back in case there's someone right behind to shoot me down and say you always knew I'd fall. When the crazy wheel slows down, where will I be? Back where I started.
Comrade Molotov tells me you want to play chess. Go to hell.
A lovely acting. Ben, who is a lighting designer leading the troupe.
We'll go from this end. I think it's impeccable. I must tell you, I did light the national tour back in the 80s. We didn't do it as well. Now, it was Lico's, nor was it staged as well. I think you've done a great job. I think anytime you do a transition, you did them too fast. I was counting them, and you did it in 3 counts. The first one, when the blue backlight comes up, should have been like 7. Every time you did a transition, you were rushing. It was like you were in a hurry to get there. You brought the audience along, and you could slow everything, not the bumps, obviously, but anytime there's a transition, just slow them down, and you'd take us right along with you. Anyway, I'm very impressed, and congratulations all. And you learned all the words.
Ben was very excited for the opportunity to do chess, so it's his dream.
Okay, so I love the graphicness of the design. This is actually a question, this is maybe I don't know if it's like it's a very subjective kind of question, but should the square be first? And then the fade up on the face?
Or would the director say, I can't see him?
That's certainly a craft question for sure. But I'm just curious if you tried it a different way or what you thought about that.
I think that follow spot said, is it 10-second fade up?
Or is it we establish the square and then as you start singing the spots fade up?
When we did it, because that was kind of a bit of an original idea, we were like, oh, the chess square will show up, and originally it came all together. But the lyrics just kick it off right away.
Right.
So, we want to be able to see his face, and we didn't want him in that darkness. So we kind of reversed it and put the follow spot first, and then the chess square when the instrumental kicks in.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's just such a graphic idea, and I think it's so interesting that I kind of want to see more of it as well. You know, like with the chorus in the back and those squares, and they have that sort of like they're taking those pawn-like steps in the back. You know, I don't know if there's an opportunity to like continue that square idea further into the piece as well, because I think it's really interesting. And again, it's sort of taking lighting and making scenery out of it in a way that's not just beams in the air.
I agree. I love the way you handled the lighting of the chorus so that the square was dominant and the side light didn't affect the dominant square. That was really great. I just ask about the intensity of the downstage square, and so it's a square on the floor, but it also distorts him so much, and I'm just wondering what about that distortion of the human body that happens with that square? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, we played around with the level of the square a lot. And originally it was much brighter for the whole piece. But like you said, the distortion sort of competes with the follow spots a lot. And it really like creates sharp shadows down his face. So we brought it back a little bit. I think we felt like the distortion sort of added to the structure of like him being in solitude, which is part of what the song feels like it's about. So I personally thought like the distortion was sort of intentional. However, there definitely could have been other ways to avoid the distortion and still have the square.
Yeah, it could be a backlight, you know, so it's you're getting the graphic on the floor without affecting the. But I thought the payoff is at the last moment where Anatoly's looking up to the side. Then the distortion, there was a payoff for it, and I just wonder maybe you could be intentional about that. So we're not aware of it in the beginning, and then it builds or something through the song. Just something else to think about. But really, I agree with Ken. It's fantastic work. So thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent work. Really thrilling and dramatic. And I wonder, after my two colleagues here are sort of experts in dance, is that with our main character so still, could we see our ensemble more? Like, because they're doing the movement, and so I felt that I wanted to see them more than I did. Well, not necessarily faces, but the shape and the body of it, the bodies of them throughout, especially compared to the stillness of the person in the middle. And I think the challenge of hitting all the orchestra accents is what we see in the second time through when they're not perfect. They were perfect in the first B section and imperfect in the second B section. And so if you're going to hit all those orchestra hits, like the clarity and cleanliness needs to be there all the time. Otherwise it looks sloppy, and you're going for crisp. And you nailed it in the first B section, just not in the second B section.
Kudos to all of you. I'm really excited to see Jess. I hope it's just like this one. I just have like a couple random thoughts. And one of them is I love when you can tell the lighting is talking in cahoots with the script. So I just love when they sang back where I started and you went back to the starting cue. That's just something that warms my heart every gosh darn time. And then you guys had these shadows of the ensemble on like the second to last cue on the wall. I thought that was so cool because it still felt like they were very present in this new graphic way, which made still the foreground, middle ground, background open up the space, which I also thought the opening and circle cue was really well done with. I also thought that you all exercised restraint in that I didn't think there was any light on that didn't need to be on. I thought that was beautifully done. It's so hard to do. And then there's one question I have, and it might be this timing, because it could be a timing thing, but my question is, when is something happening to the singer, and when is something happening around the singer? Something to think about. When our subject is changing so much. We really, really, really received that change, and I lose the in between. But if it's happening around and I have the singer, my experience of the song is just slightly different. So it's just something to think about. Kudos.
Thank you.
Really great job, everybody. Really, I so enjoyed watching it, and I love the use, the way, the blending and toning of the deck, the use of the back wall, the blue that you established on the back wall. You created a set where there is none, and you created a chessboard, and particularly the storytelling beats was just right on. So to echo what everyone has said, I am of the camp where I think I wanted to see that square first, especially when you arrive at the end of the song and he gives such a poetic, poignant back where I started and starts to walk upstage towards that square. If that square had established itself first, I think that would have been, it caused me chills. I would have been even more chills had that been the case.
Yes, kudos. Cheers. So lovely to watch. I am wondering if I was peeking for cue numbers, but I'm wondering if there's a lot of stillness once we get to the first solo. There's a lot of stillness before we meet the ensemble, and I'm wondering, and maybe 20 seconds of time, and I'm wondering if all of the things that occurred in the cue where we met the ensemble were actually maybe like possibly 7 to 10 steps that happened over that 20 seconds of time. If you took that 20 seconds to establish the figures and silhouettes so that they were there, I longed for them to be there at the time that you took the cue that brought up their light. Like I wanted their mysterious, spooky presence. I was thinking, Bailey, about your comment about the paranoia and like them being there, and so I kind of wanted their ghostly presence. And I'll echo a thought about like the form and figure of the ensemble. I think in the first chorus, the pawns are coming towards him, and because we've gone up into sort of the concert lighting, I lost their figure. You know, like the shins went away briefly, and then the shins came back as a tool. And I think actually in the second chorus, there was more side light in a way that I was like, yes, that's where it is. Like that's the pawns coming to get him. They're the intruding. But that is like really, really nitpicky level of over really great work.
I was just going to add one more thing. I thought it was brilliant. It was really, it was thrilling to see the first full stage cue come up, which Tacey was talking about, and there really being the forward, middle, background. Like I was like, oh my God, yes, that's it. And it was not that all the other pieces this evening weren't amazing, but the first time I saw this theater, and I've done this for a couple of years, where I was like, oh, I don't hate that back wall today. You know, like I really didn't, and it was charming. The only thing I'll say, which is really beautiful about the way the song is written music theory-wise, is it's kind of the same forward as it is backwards. And I think when you hit really the bridge of the song, which is the biggest moment, and then we go back, which Asia brilliantly said, it was chilling to go back to in where we were before. You could then re-dissect that cue the way you open the show. So the way we build it up to Tacey's cue, we would just take it right back down, and then you have that little stinger at the end, and then blackout essentially. And I thought that would be a really brilliant way to do that. Congratulations.
Sorry, I'm taking notes on what other people have said so I can agree with them. Because, like, for instance, Ken, I'm in total agreement with Ken. First of all, amazing work. Second of all, I do think double check your timings, especially in that beginning. Maybe the lights come up before we start the sound, and that's one of the ways to solve the vocal coming in hot issue. I love the square. I love the angle of the square. We have a problem with the follow spot in that it's ruining the square on the floor. And luckily, you're the choreographer, and you can tell Ben, you're going to stand here and you're not going to move. And then we can figure out something else, like a shin cut off the floor ever so slightly downstage, a single cell of a footlight, somewhere where we can bury that face shadow where it doesn't ruin the graphic picture that we want to or that we've based our entire piece on. Something Nick said about the timings of those orchestra hits. I actually, Brad Gray, are those zeros? Yes. There's something about this orchestration. It's like a timpani and a bass note, and it's not actually a sharp zero. It's like a wah. And so I wonder if some of the disconnect we're kind of feeling there is that it's not actually like a true snap in that music, but there's like a tiny bit of a tail. And I don't have a good answer as to what the solve for that is, but it might be that asking a brilliant programmer, for example, to like, hey, listen to this and like help me figure this out. Help me put a tail on this cue so it matches up better is totally something. Right. And the other problem you have is you are mixing LED bumps with mechanical bumps with color flag bumps, and all of those three things happen in different timings. And so it's not a clean transition. So as you are, this is kind of a global note for everyone, as you are thinking about zero counts, you also have to be thinking about, is it a mechanical dowser? Is it an LED bumping on? Is it a color wheel? Is it a color flag? Because all of those things move at different speeds. And if you want it to look clean, you have to account for that. But I loved the color choices. I loved that mixed blue that wasn't just like full cyan, full magenta, but actually had some thought put into it. Really well done.
Anybody else? No? Wonderful work, guys. Oh, Brad, I'm sorry. Wonderful work, except for what Brad's going to say.
I only had good things, actually, on this one. One note for all of the groups I forgot. SMs, whenever you can, check in about a cue number. A lot of times it's just go, 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 go. You actually did a really great job every time, or at least every 50th cue or something. Give me like, and lights 101. Then I can at least look at the cue list, confirm that I'm actually going to take 101. As far as you all went, I want to talk about some positives. You were the only group that made dummy cues. You were the only group that were not too precious about your colors during previs. I thought that you were, when you came in and checked every single focus before we looked at a single cue on stage from previs, very first day. Let's look, we punched through cues and checked every single focus. Same note on timing, actually. I wish that we got done. We had 30 minutes to spare on our first day, and I would have loved watching some of those transitions for 30 minutes. Really solid second day. That's it. Thanks.
Nice. All right, well, I would like to thank everyone in this row for sharing your time and your talent and your experience with all of the designers. And I'd like to thank all of the designers for their creative and time-consuming and wonderful and beautiful and bold work. Yeah. On stage and off. I'd like to thank all of the people who appeared on stage and all the people who made it happen, costume designers, prop designers. Thank you to our spotlight operators. Thank you to our stage managers who, oh my God, you guys are wonderful. And thank you to our alumni for coming back and spending a little time with us again. And thank you all for watching and coming, and I hope to see you all in the springtime. Yeah?
And just one more big shout out to Josh Karp and PRG, because this would not be possible without their support. And I erred when I said you should be throwing all your shows to Brad. What you really should be doing is throwing them to both. You're going to have to 50-50 it, but in all seriousness, we really support, or really appreciate PRG's support here. So thank you.